before we get into the top 10 list of articles, can you give our listeners a rundown of, what you observed this year? How was it different from 2021 and kind of what you're expecting to see in 2023? Just set the stage a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of the trends that we saw in 2021 continued this year. If you think about the chip shortage and the labor shortage, those trends certainly continued. And then as a result of the labor shortage, this need to automate assembly lines um, that certainly continued. I think companies are we're out of the sort of COVID woods that we had been in the past couple of years. Companies are have dealt with that pretty effectively, I think. So that is certainly less of a concern now. Um, but we're still seeing, like I said, I think we're still seeing the problems related to skilled labor shortage and supply chain issues.
Austin, what's your take?
Yeah, I agree with John. It's been a fun year. Things are definitely in a transition. I think a lot of people are waiting for a variety of things. The chip shortage and supply chain issues are still, probably in the back of folks' minds. I mean, it depends on who you talk to, but everyone I talk to talks about the labor shortage. That there's just no, just such a tremendous shortage of people. They can't find enough people, and that trend looks like it's going to continue. All the data I see, we hear numbers of 1 million people, 1 million openings in manufacturing. Supposedly those numbers are just going to increase over the next few years. It could reach as high as 2 million by the end of this decade. So definitely a lot of need for automation and advanced technology.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely stuff we'll be talking about on the podcast throughout 2023. I do get the impression that it's kind of an exciting time in manufacturing, even though, everybody's being faced with these issues. Would you say that's true? And I mean, my impression is like people are kind of predicting sort of an economic boom or a lot of growth in this industry. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think so. Spoiler alert, the continuing uh, revolution in electric vehicles, I think is only going to propel the manufacturing economy. A big sea change in that space.
To piggyback on what John said, I concur. Electric vehicle manufacturing, it's really, everyone thinks of automotive, that's where a lot of the attention has been, but it's really anything with wheels, anything, as we say, that rolls, floats, or flies is going electric. And there's just a tremendous change going on, and the dam's about to burst with, as far as just on the automotive sector alone. There's something like, I think it's $50 billion being invested worldwide by automakers and suppliers. And that's traditional companies like the Fords and GMs of the world, Volkswagen, Daimler, but then all these startups. And there's just a tremendous amount of investment going on right now. Battery plants. Jennifer, you've covered the battery plant in your backyard, literally almost there in the Kansas City area. There's these plants are cropping up all over. And so it's going to be really interesting as we go forward in the new year. And certainly in the next few years, it's going to be real interesting.